Hi guys, Look here and welcome to another FIFA 20 ratings predictions video, and today guys we're going to be taking a look at Arsenal and predicting their FIFA 20 ratings, a team that has had a very exciting transfer window, as have the other teams that I've taken a look at. In the first three episodes we had a look at Juventus, Manchester United and Atletico Madrid, and now today we are focusing on Arsenal, who have made some pretty big purchases, including their new record signing PEPE. They've also brought in the likes of LUIZ, TIERNEY and DANI CEBALLOS on loan from Real Madrid. And yeah, we're going to start off with PEPE. First, we're going to take a look at the main kind of 11 Arsenal players that are predicted to really get the most starts for Arsenal this season. All their stats are going to be, like their appearances, goals and assists will be based on all their stats from all competitions they played last season, apart from international games. I haven't included those in that list, only club football. So the first player we will look at is their new record signing, Nicolas Pepe, which actually makes Arsenal's attack probably the second best in the league. I'd say Liverpool's is probably still the best. But City kind of have an attack, if you want to say that, in like Mahrez, Aguero, Sterling and Sane, but there's never like a definitive front three attack for Manchester City. Overall, fantastic attack Manchester City, don't get me wrong, but in terms of a definitive, consistent front three attack, Liverpool and Arsenal have got the best consistent front three players who will play as attack. There's no question about that. I think he will slot into the Premier League well this season, Pepe. Yes, he's come from the French League, which, although it is in the top 5 major leagues of football, it's nowhere... I say it's nowhere near the level of Premier League football because obviously it's a very high standard of football, but it's the teams there, some of them are championship level, 100%. Like, I'd say 6 or 7 of the teams in the French League, you know, the likes of Charlton and Sheffield Wednesday could definitely beat, there's no question about that. There's no disrespect to the French League or to the Championship. I'm just, you know, let's take things into a bit of context here. Let's use a bit of common sense. Having said that, Pepe's been fantastic for Lille last season, not even playing as a striker. He got 23 goals and 12 assists in 41 appearances. You know, that is like Messi and Mohamed Salah stats like right there, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, he did have a 79 rated card. Let's see if I have gone with him going to an 85 because last season was his, you know, it was his big season. It was like his big moment season, all that kind of stuff. Before that, he played with like Angers and stuff like that. Didn't really get great returns with them. I think this is maybe, it was his second season with Lille. And I think the season before that, he'd done okay, but not amazing. Or maybe it's just one season at Lille. I'm not 100% too sure. But yeah, last year was like his best season. His other seasons have been very, very average. But, you know, obviously, you know, players like Messi and Ronaldo got to go, you know, got to come good at some point and have their breakout season. So I have no doubt that Pepe's not a one-season wonder. I think he will do well at Arsenal. I think obviously combining him in the attack with Lacazette and AUBAMEYAng is going to be fantastic. He hasn't been starting yet. He's only been coming on as a sub for the Newcastle game, and I believe he came on as a sub today against Burnley in Arsenal's win, which actually puts them top of the league, which is pretty interesting for now. But yeah, I have gone with him having an 85 rated card, you know, getting that shooting up by 7, passing by 6, dribbling, pace and physical also being increased. I think he definitely deserves an 85 rated card. I don't think enough to make him an 86, but obviously EA should give him a really high rated card for the most part because obviously big new signing, done very well last season, and I think would definitely be worthy of that 85 rated card. The second player we're going to take a look at is going to be Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, last season's joint top goal scorer along with Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah. I believe it was 22 goals in the league last season, but overall last season for Arsenal, 51 appearances, 31 goals and 8 assists as well from a striker is pretty awesome, considering I think nearly all of his appearances were at a striker as well. I think he would occasionally drift out wide and stuff, but for the most part he was playing as a central striker, which means to get 8 assists in that position as well, it's 39 goal contributions in 51 games. That is absolutely fantastic, and to be doing that in the Premier League, the Europa League, the domestic cups as well, that's a fantastic return. And he did have an 88 rated card last year. I believe he started off with an 87 rated card, but was upgraded in January to that 88 rating. I think this year he definitely deserves a 90 rated card. There's absolutely no question about that. Kept his pace at the same at 94 for the time being, but definitely shooting deserves to be increased. I have gone with a 4 overall shooting increase at minimum. You could arguably say maybe even deserves to go up to 90 or 91. Also, his passing has gone up with 2 as well because, yeah, you know, once again, 8 assists in 51 games. From a striker anyway is very good, and I've also gone with slight little increases in dribbling and physical as well. So yeah, 90 rated card in my opinion, definitely worthy there for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. The next player we will have a quick look at is going to be Lacazette. 14 games last season, 19 goals, 13 assists. Still a good record. Got his first goal this season today. It was a bit of a scrappy goal against Burnley, but you know, he put the ball in the back of the net, which is the main thing. Starting to really, I think every season now he's playing for us. I think he's playing for maybe 2.5 to 3 seasons now. He's getting better and better every single season, which is obviously good for an Arsenal fan, not so good for someone like me of a rival club. But yeah, going with his shooting, passing, dribbling, pace, once again, solid upgrades. He had an 85 rated card last year, which I believe was also upgraded from an 84 rated card in the January window, or the January upgrades, whatever you want to call it. So arguably could say maybe even worth an 88 rated card, but I'm not quite sure about that. Once again, 13 assists and 14 games from a central striker is absolutely fantastic. Similar to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, would occasionally drift wide and stuff like that, but absolutely insane goal scoring and goal contribution record there for Lacazette. And another player that definitely does deserve an awesome upgrade, and yeah, you could argue could even deserve an 88 rated. He shouldn't be as high rated though as Aubameyang. I would disagree on that, but even so, having Pepe, Lacazette, Aubameyang, when those three are going to start really properly playing later on in the season, in the Europa League and stuff, I think Arsenal's still in that competition this season, they're going to be a real force. So, yeah, again, really good player. Could have a really good season once again for Arsenal, and in my opinion, definitely worth of at least an 87 rated card. Okay guys, so moving along into the next player, it is going to be Leno. In my opinion, he should be able to retain the 84 rated card. He did make 36 appearances last season, keeping 9 clean sheets. I believe it was 7 clean sheets in the Premier League, which is actually one of the worst, but at the same time, Arsenal's defence last season, it wasn't just down to him being bad, it was also because he wasn't able to start all the games, as sometimes Petr Cech would come into some of the games, so he wasn't able to always get consistent amounts of games like the Europa League and stuff, or in the Premier League at times, but also first season in the Premier League, and to get 9 clean sheets overall in all competitions wasn't too bad. But also the defence in front of Leno last season was absolutely shocking. Very poor fullbacks in Bellerin and Monreal are just not up to standard, as well as Kolasinac, and central defenders as well haven't been simply good for them over the past few seasons. So in my opinion, you can't blame Leno for his lack of clean sheets, but overall, from what some of the saves he was making, some of his performances were still really good. So in my opinion, he should be and deserves to retain an 84 rated card to have increased his handling and reflexes as well slightly. But that is going to be Leno's cards. Moving along into the next player is going to be Mkhitaryan. Going with a position change for him from a cam to right winger. Last season he played 13 of his 39 games at a cam and 22 of his 39 games as a right winger. And he also played a couple at a left wing position as well. I believe he did get an inform at a left wing last season, but the majority of his games in all competitions last season were played as a right winger, picking up 6 goals and 7 assists. Again, another player that I think should be able to retain an 84 rated card, because he's been very versatile and he can play in a lot of positions in the attack. Hasn't quite hit the heights when he was at Dortmund and stuff. He was a fantastic player. Moved to Man United, didn't do great for them. Has moved to Arsenal and has done okay for them, but at the same time has never really repeated the type of player that he was at Borussia Dortmund. But even so, because of his 7 assists, I've gone with a couple passing increases and also his physical as well, going up to 70. So just some general increases to him. So yeah, I think he will get his 84 rated card, but obviously, already this season having a bit of lack of games. Did play against Newcastle, played okay against them. Didn't even come on at all for their win today against Burnley. But even so, despite that, based on his last season performance, I think he does deserve to hold an 84 rated card, and he should be position changed to a right wing position. There's no reason why he shouldn't get the position change, because he played the majority of his games at that position. Therefore, he should be given a right wing card for FIFA 20. Moving along into the next player, is going to be one of their new signings. It is Kieran Tierney from Celtic. 40 games last season for Celtic, scoring 1 goal and picking up 6 assists. He did have a 76 rated card in FIFA 19, and was also given a League SBC card. I believe that was an 84 rated or something like that, but apart from that, didn't pick up any other special cards throughout the whole of the season. Having said that, he's a top quality fullback. In my opinion, Arsenal got him for a very good price. You look at players like how a lot of people might say how he can transition from the Scottish Premier League to the Premier League, because obviously that is a massive upstep in quality. Well, we saw the case of Andrew Robertson, that he started his career with Queen's Park in Scottish League 2. He was fantastic to them. He went to Hull City. I believe Hull City were in the Championship at the time. He went up into the Premier League. He played with Hull City in the Premier League. He got better under Hull City from where he was at Queen's Park, and then eventually earned his move to Liverpool, where he's just absolutely excelled even further and gets better and better every single season. He's now the captain of Scotland, and so in that case, I think we can definitely see the same with Kieran Tierney at Arsenal. Yes, again, it's a massive step up from the Scottish Premier League, but at the same time, we saw what Robertson can do, and I think Kieran Tierney is definitely capable of doing the exact same as well. At the moment, make it a lack of games at the start of the season, because I think he has got a slight bit of an injury at the moment, but having said that, I think as the season goes on, he will definitely get into that left back position. He is the future for that position at Arsenal, and I think already just based on that, we will see him get at least at minimum an 80 rated card, arguably maybe even an 81 rated potentially, but yeah, at least an 80 rated. And then it's going to be another signing that we're going to move into next. That's going to be David Luiz, a very interesting signing. This one kind of came out the blue within like the last 24 hours of the the summer transfer window in the Premier League. 50 games last season, 3 goals, 2 assists. I have given him a pace decrease because he's at the age of 32 now, and obviously when players get to around the age of 30 and 31 in particular, EA start to just give pace decreases, which is kind of right because obviously as you do get older, you do get slower, unless you're Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi or something like that. But even so, yeah, his pace will be downgraded. There's no question about that. I've also gone with his passing to be downgraded slightly because he was an 83 rated card last season. I think he will go down to an 82, despite playing 50 games this season. You know, he didn't keep the greatest amount of clean sheets for Chelsea that season. Obviously, they did go on to win the Europa League, which is fantastic, but ultimately they didn't get top 4, and he was one of their main central defenders last season. So, with the fact that they didn't achieve the top 4, that's obviously going to be a bit of a downgrade to him. But, you know, winning the Europa League was still fantastic. I've also given a slight little decrease on dribbling. Maybe being a little bit too harsh to David Luiz here, but he's simply not the player that he was a few years ago. Having said that, he's still solid. Played actually really, really well today as well for Arsenal. Not keeping a clean sheet, but even so, still played well for the most part when I was watching the match. But, yeah, based off last season's performance, I will go with a slight decrease to him purely because of age, for the most part, just because I know what EA do to players when they get older. They give them decreases. Anyone that plays FIFA knows that's going to happen. At the age of 32, I would be surprised if he does retain an 83 rated card. But the next player is going to be another of Arsenal's new signings. Now, this one is only a temporary deal, obviously, on loan for the season. DANI Ceballos. I watched him today. Best player on the field. Better than Lacazette, better than AUBAMEYANG. Obviously, they were the 2 players that scored. Ceballos assisted both of those goals. Fantastic on the ball. A really, really just good top quality central midfielder. Reminds me a bit of, you know, like a Kevin De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva. Obviously a bit more defensive than those, but like in how he just controls the game. You know, you watch Silva, you watch De Bruyne and how they control the games and stuff as well, and Ceballos was definitely able to do that, just absolutely insane. But last season at Royal, 34 games, 3 goals, 2 assists. He got 2 assists last season for Real Madrid. Today he goes and gets 2 assists under Unai Emery on his debut. So absolutely fantastic for DANI Ceballos. I think he's a really good player, and he's someone that, if I was the owners of Arsenal, I think just based off that performance, I'd be looking to try and get a permanent deal for him straight away if there's a potential buy clause at the end of the loan deal or whatever. But despite that, I think I've got these stats wrong. It says it's a 2 pace decrease and 1 passing decrease and 2 dribbling. I've actually messed that up. The proper stats that I am supposed to have for him are a 2 shooting increase, a 1 pass increase, and a 2 physical increase. My apologies for the graphic there, just messed up. But I've also gone with him having a 1 racing increase from an 81 to an 82. Because, you know, in the games that he did, I do watch La Liga occasionally, and the games that he did play last season for a very poor Real Madrid team last season, he was still one of the main standout players, and he's a very, very good player. In my opinion, Real was stupid to let him go for the season on loan. They should have kept him in their starting 11, but yeah, despite that, very, very good card, and I think he's going to be very fun to use at the start of FIFA 20. Moving along towards the back end of the cards, now we're moving into Guendouzi, and these stats now actually are correct as well. Phenomenal player, obviously his first season at Arsenal last season, I do believe. 67 rated card he did have last season. I'm going with him up to a 76 this season, and you could argue for him to maybe even be higher rated than that. 48 games last season, 1 goal, 2 assists. I think it'd be better if he did maybe get a few more assists this season, although he does play as a predominantly more defensive type of player. I think if he could maybe come up with like maybe 2 or 3 more assists throughout this season, that would be a lot better for him. But even so, I'll go like pace, I can't even speak at the moment, pace, passing, physical, defending, dribbling, shooting, basically every single area of his card I've gone for an increase, and I think he's a very, very talented player for Arsenal, and you know, he did start today as well, also started against Newcastle. He's going to be starting a lot of games once again this season for them, and yeah, again, he will definitely be a gold card, arguably even higher than 76 rated, but that's what I've just gone with, a 9 overall increase for him. Moving along into the penultimate player is going to be Sokratis. In my opinion, he will retain the 84 rated card. 40 games last season, 3 goals, 2 assists. I have gone with a pace decrease because once again, he's at the age of 31, I do believe, so they will just give him a decrease on pace just purely because that he's over 30, as I said before with the case of David Luiz. But I have gone with a 3 passing increase because 2 assists from 40 games as a central defender isn't a bad return so far. I just put them up because he should have better than 50 passing based on that, in my opinion. So yeah, overall, I think he should be able to give the 84 rated card. I know not all Arsenal fans are really happy with this guy, but for the most part, like out of the, you know, obviously David Luiz has come in. That's a fantastic signing. But apart from that, based on last season, he probably was Arsenal's best central defender, better than Mustafi, better than who else did they even have? Callum Chambers. I can't even remember. Arsenal's centre-backs are so so poor last season that he was definitely the best of a bad bunch. But yeah, I'm going to keep the 84 rating for him. And then the final player is going to be Mirza Özil. I have gone for 1 rating decrease on him. Again, slight little pace decrease. Going for his passing to be down a little bit because 35 games this season, only 3 assists. That's a very, very poor return. Yes, 6 goals isn't too bad, but his passing, that's shocking. 3 assists in 35 games. That's really, really poor. Physical as well, I've gone for a bit of a decrease on as well. You could argue that he could maybe even go down to an 84 rated card because he just hasn't been the best for us in these past few seasons, certainly the past couple of seasons in particular. But yeah, in my opinion, definitely got to be decreased in rating. There's no question about that. And who knows when we'll even see him play this season. Obviously, with all the security thing that's going on right now, I know Kolasinac came on today. I don't know if Ozil did because I switched it off as soon as Arsenal made it 2-1. But yeah, I think we'll see a slight decrease in racing for him. But that's going to be all the players for this video, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. Let me know if you agree with them. If you don't, what changes you'd make. But I think I've really covered most of Arsenal's main 11 players here today that are likely to start. Yes, I could have included the likes of Bellerin, Kolasinac, Reece Nelson, some of the youngsters like that and stuff, but I've gone with the main experienced players, the ones that people care about and stuff, because cards like Reece Nelson aren't really going to get like amazing cards anyway, to be honest. But they're my ratings. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys